Today we're going to be testing the NCP1351PRINTGEVB 40-watt printer evaluation board by ON Semiconductor. The equipment we'll be using today will be our AC power source, capable of outputting up to 265 volts AC. On our outputs, we will have a voltmeter hooked to both our 16 volt output and our 32 volt output. And also on both outputs, we will have a DC electronic load on each of them. It should be noted that for the output connections of our board, we have our 32 volt output as shown, and our 16 volt output as shown. And the grounds for both of these outputs are tied together at our single ground output terminal. To begin our test, we're going to set our AC source to 110 volts AC input and turn it on. And here we can see on our 16 volt output we have approximately 16 volts DC, and then on our 32 volt output we have approximately 32 volts DC. Next, on our electronic loads, we're going to make sure that we set the 32 volt output to 1 amp load current, and then the 16 volt output will be set to 625 milliamps of load current, and we're going to turn both of our loads on. And here we can see that we have our 1 amp of load current and our approximate 625 milliamps of load current on both our 16 volt output and then again on our 32 volt output. For the next part of our test, we're going to adjust our AC input voltage to 230 volts AC input. And here once again we can see we have approximately 16 volts DC on our 16 volt output and 32 volts DC on our 32 volt output. And once again we can see that we have our 1 amp of output on our 32 volt output, and on our 16 volt output we have approximately 625 milliamps. Next, we're going to check our short circuit protection. We're going to do this by slowly increasing the output current on our 32 volt output, and we should go into short circuit protection before we get to 2.8 amps. And here we can see that our outputs are both approximately 0 volts. We are in short circuit protection. Next, we're going to reset our short circuit protection. We're going to do this by slowly lowering our output current back down to our original 1 amp. Next, to reset our short circuit protection, we're going to turn our input voltage off. We're going to wait approximately 5 seconds. And then we're going to turn our output voltage back on. And here now we can see our short circuit protection has reset, and we have our 16 volts on our 16 volt output, 32 on our 32 volt output, and our output currents have returned, 1 amp on our 32 volt output and approximately 625 milliamps on our 16 volt output. This concludes the test of the NCP1351PRINTGEVB 40-watt printer evaluation board. For more information, please visit www.onsemi.com or contact an authorized distributor.